merge and cooperate with Egypt on educational levels. They have mentioned that the youth capacity in Egypt is phenomenal and should be used in a positive way. Yes, basically, and they've also talked about how Egypt has made it a lot easier now to cooperate in various fields, and that
Lubna, I'm going to have to cut you off there. We have to go back to our coverage of the live sessions from the forum you are at, and of course we'll be joining you throughout the day for further updates. Thank you, Lubna.
Tested globally during the last years or the last couple of years through the pandemic, through the demographical changes and pressure. And this means that we need all the time to be prepared, to be resilient, to be capable of dealing with the digitally oriented new generations, which have a very high expectations related to health outcomes. And in Egypt, we started 2018 to reform our health system by the Universal Health Coverage Insurance law. And we invested a lot in the infrastructure with over than 1,400 primary healthcare units, which was either newly built or renovated. We either new build or renovate more than 300 hospitals with a lot of specialties. And last year, during our third edition of the Global Health, Population and Development Forum, we launched our first health digital national strategy. So Egypt, as a growing country with over 108 million population, with like another 10 million of people living with the Egyptians, it's a big market. It's a market, and our geographical location close to Europe and the gate of Africa, which is another huge market. We are building our system on the basis of digital transformation, using the AI, and we are already using the AI in our radiology and our screening for the neonatal screening. So I think with companies like Matthew, we can not only work together, but we can co-partner together to make an innovative solution which is related to our needs, their expectation of growing, and to build a model which is unique. It's not only that I export technology. No, it's we build the technology according to the Egyptian, the African market demands and needs. And we are in the Ministry of Health and in Egypt, as if I can say that, we are very willing to start doing that from yesterday. And I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Khaled Alian, Vice Chairman, Export Council for Medical Industry. We include the medical industry. We have the pharmaceutical factories. We have the medical devices, cosmetics, vaccines. Our export volume right now is 1 billion USD per year, and you have planned to have it to 3 billion euros till the end of 2027. And the person level, I am the founder and the CEO of Spectrum Group of companies. We were the first to produce and manufacture the laboratory diagnostic reagents in Egypt. It was 25 years ago. At this time, 100% of the diagnostic reagents were imported. Now, after 25 years, we supply the country 100% of the clinical chemistry, no import anymore. And now we export these products to more than 42 countries worldwide. Thank you.
Now it's working. So, hello everybody. I'm Anna Gudenielm. I'm representing Revity here. Revity is a funny name for a company, but when explained what it means, then it makes sense. So Rev comes from revolutionize, Vita or Vita, life. So what we do is revolutionizing life. So we are a pure play life science and diagnostics company. And I'll start on reflecting upon the local saying that health is visible only when it is lost. So I'd like to say that what we do is preventing that health is lost. Within reproductive health, our main business area is newborn screening. So in newborn screening, we are looking at rare disorders, but disorders that if untreated, they cause severe developmental delay, severe morbidity, even mortality in the worst cases. But if detected early, they can actually be treated. And one of the fundamental things about newborn screening is that the treatment can be as easy as changing the diet. So we are in the business of saving babies. And with the products that are designed in Turku, so we have R&D in Finland. They are all produced in Finland. We serve over 110 different countries. And with our products, to date, we have screened over 870 million babies. Every day, we make an impact on the life of 83 babies that are detected with our kits and treated and saved, and being able to make that health, keep it invisible, so have a good life. In Egypt, there has been a lot of progress during the past 20 plus years, and also when listening to a lot of the talks and reflecting to differences and similarities between Finland and Egypt. I always enjoy different cultures and looking at synergies, and one of the things that I feel is very similar between Finland and Egypt is that relationships are important. And the way that we have been able to be successful in Egypt, and actually with our products screen more than 2 million babies every year, is because we have an outstanding and long-term partner here in Egypt. So HVD Egypt, and I have here Dr. Mohamed El Naga with me. We were working together, and without that it wouldn't have been possible. So relationships are key. Besides newborn screening, we also do maternal fetal health screening. That is one of the undeserved markets we talk a lot about nowadays about women's health, is detecting those at risk for preeclampsia and being able to prevent those. Another increasing area is looking at diabetes and type 1 diabetes, and really what can be seen is that identifying those at risk, we can reduce the amount of diabetic ketoacidosis, which is really fundamental and really severe, ending up in the emergency units. Despite in Egypt, the prevalence of type 1 diabetes is nothing to compare to what we have in Finland. But Egypt is a big country with a big population, and therefore the impact of diabetic ketoacidosis is significant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to be here again, second panel, and I must say that I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to healthcare issues, but of course this is something that we are doing different things at that when it comes to our work at the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. And so it's of course healthcare issues, so it's a natural part of international agenda today. So it's part of our cooperation with the international organizations. For example, if we talk about the United Nations system, and we cooperate on many issues or questions there related to this sector. Then it's of course one of the priority areas when we talk about our cooperation with developing countries in this world. So there we have a strong priority, especially when it comes to women and girls and the health issues that concern them. And that is, there are many ongoing projects, for example, in Africa and in Asia on this topic. But then there is also the business angle to all of this. So today our ministry is in charge of Okay, this one hopefully works now. So the business angle to this health issue. So today our ministry is in charge of the export promotion in Finland, and there we are of course doing a number of things with our companies. So like here today, so that we cooperate with them, promote their work, and try to come up with good projects. And usually it's good if we can also combine those, when I was saying that what are the priorities, for example, women and girls, and if we can find then companies which provide products or services related to that sector. So this is of course, I mean, it's a very important area at our work at the ministry, and there of course we are looking for more opportunities to cooperate with the Egyptian players in this field in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, so much. And I will go back again and ask you, sir, what do you think about the collaboration in Egypt? But let's start first with, you tell us about the global market of, let's start with the dental health, for example, and your contribution in it, and how we can integrate this with the systems and with the national programs for addressing this issue in Egypt.
Okay, very good question. And first of all, what is the global situation in dental care? And first of all, number one is the aging population. It's the number one, and it means more dental and healthcare needed. And number two is the more and more people, growing population, and it means again more need dental and healthcare. And number three is the growing middle class. They want to use more and more money to healthcare. And then to last one, number four is the aesthetic value. Now is the more and more high demand to aesthetic treatments in dentistry. And what this means, dentists and doctors, they need to be faster and faster and faster, because they need to do treatment faster, and they need to send at the same time they need to take more client inside the clinic. And how they can survive? They need a full digital solution, and how they can do faster and faster treatment, and then we need to integrate a lot of things. And in Plammeka is ready. We started 1990. We started to talk in Plammeka. It was a slogan, all in one, when digitalization started. And then Romex's software is the all-in-one software, what we can use in dentistry. And last one, 2020, we start to talk about ecosystem, full ecosystem, and this full ecosystem is include full digital solution. And of course, we need to work very close, Ministry of Health, and how we can cooperate more and more this integration, because we have tools, we have software, and everything is in our phone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I will also ask you, sir, Dr. Hassam, about I will also go back to you and get a comment about the issue that we discussed. So what's your comment on the dental health in Egypt? What are the potential collaboration and how we can integrate technology into that from the point of view of the strategy for Ministry of Health?
Thank you again, and let me comment first about the woman and child health. And investing in the human capital is one of the top priority of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. And we are shifting in the Ministry of Health our approach towards the maternal and child health through life cycle health management. And to do that, we need to do early screening, which we are doing, especially for stillbirth, and the hearing screening. We have a universal hearing screening. And we need to do a continuous maternal monitoring and preventive pediatric care. So with Reviti, we can expand our screening panels. We can introduce new diagnostic tools, and we can shift from prevention to prediction. And I think this is very important. If we go back to pandemic and the teeth, almost 70% of our Egyptian population has encountered some sort of problem with their teeth, which you are talking about almost 75 million, which is a big number. And one of the challenges what we have is dental health care is not widely separated among our 27 governorates, and we need to correct that. So I think with your company we can deploy a digital dental ecosystem. We can scale up our preventive programs, and we can explore local manufacturing, and I think this is very important, local manufacturing and assembly. So it's a win-win situation. We can expand our access, and you can expand your market share.
Thank you, sir. So, Dr. Khalid, let's build on this and let's talk a little bit about the possibility of technology transfer and local manufacturing, and how this can be integrated also with the business of import and export in a long-term plan.
Yeah, it's the same as Dr. Hassam said, and this is what we are working on more than 10 years ago right now. Localization is the priority of the government, and as a medical device, we have localized the production of many products. Examples for the syringes, for the IVD products, for the even the ultrasonography machines. We have a lot of products and medical products that already localized in Egypt right now. But what I'd like to say is it's a very good opportunity right now to the European companies. It will be a win-win situation because of the competition from China. Egypt is the first priority choice to Europe to come to Egypt here for the local production. Number one, geographically, definitely, all of us know that from Egypt is very close to Africa, down, go to Europe, and even to Asia, 3-4 hours you are in Asia, 3-4 hours you are all over Europe. Number two, we have 9 general free zone industrial area in Egypt. Free zone industrial area, it's you don't have any profit taxes, zero profit taxes, business profit taxes. You have zero VAT, you have zero customs. You have only to come to pay the rental cost of the factory or the land, and then whatever you can sell, you can do a very good profit. Number three, it's very important that we have a lot of trading agreement. We have with COMESA, we have with the Quiz, we have Agadir agreement with Tunisia, Egypt, Morocco, and Jordan with Europe. European partnership. We have a lot of agreement that it's tariff-free. We don't have any taxes for this. Labor cost, Egypt is the second country in the world concerning the low labor cost. So European countries, if they come to companies, if they come to Egypt, they can produce the same quality of their products with a reasonable cost that can be exported worldwide. This is the deal that right now in Egypt we have a lot of companies are coming right now for this reason. Localization and technology transfer is our focus in the medical device. We have a lot of projects running right now, even in different fields, not only at the pharmaceutical. For the drug delivery, for example, we have a lot of companies right now in the pharmaceutical field are working with another countries for the drug delivery. In the medical device, we started the medical device industry in Egypt more than 30 years ago, and now it's a booming in Egypt. And now we are making also a technology transfer from Egypt to Africa, because even all African countries right now are looking for a production step. Nobody right now in Africa would like to have a finished product, and this is what we are working right now for this. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. So again, Dr. Hassam opened a little bit of a potential in terms of increasing the number, increasing the business, but also there are challenges that I think that are very important. I would also to talk a little bit more about the idea of prediction, because I've been involved a little bit with the Ministry of Health, that I can tell that in certain disease prevention programs in Egypt are well organized. They are developing more and more for the past 6 or 7 years, and now we're at a point where it seems that we can go another step forward, which is actually prediction. So can you please comment on that from your point of view?
Yeah, first of all, maybe a comment. So always one of the fundamentals in business, it's a win-win situation for both parties. And looking at what Egypt has done in the area of prevention and for the newborn screening is phenomenal. Also then looking at the 100 million healthy lives, the presidential initiative, which goes beyond newborn screening. It's part of that is providing NICU babies a very much expanded screening panel, and that's of course something that we hope that will be expanded to cover more newborns. But then another initiative under that program is screening mothers for HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B. And when looking at the healthcare markets, that is a good start. And that is also having put up the infrastructure on how to reach all those mothers. Then it's maybe the time to take the next step into looking at one of the significant health burden puts the unborn child at risk, really puts at risk for example, stillbirth, but also for mothers that have had preeclampsia, and I assume that all of you in the room know somebody who has gone through it. It has long-standing health effects because it impacts on the cardiovascular system. So that is something that I think definitely is an opportunity and where we want to support. But another thing that I want to raise is that thinking about the world, so we've got 100 million newborns that don't receive any screening. A lot of those are in Africa. So looking at the progress that has happened in Egypt, you're such a front runner and an example for the other countries. We are working with WHO, we are working with UNICEF. A couple of weeks ago, we worked with the Ministries of Health in Kenya and Tanzania. Now I've got my colleagues in Uganda providing training. But there I think that you can showcase what you've done, and I think a lot of good collaboration by building the partnership, working together with, for example, the Consortium of Newborn Screening in Africa as providing training and showing how it can be done, because you have the world's biggest screening laboratory here in Cairo.
Thank you for this information. It's very important, and it's a really proud lab to have in Egypt. I have so many questions for you, sir, but let's just focus on two main things. The idea of transferring the technology, and which is also coupled with the human capacity increase, and how can Egypt be a step forward to Africa, like what we have seen in the production and industry system. There are things that you would need to do to get the products that are semi-finished to be done in Africa, because in developing countries, I think the strategy is becoming, especially with all the problems with the world supply chain, is that localization of certain things are very important. So, from your point of view, how can we do this on a scale of sustainable programs that can build for the future?
I think that's a very good but complicated question also in that sense, and I think, I mean, Egypt, I think it's, as we heard already, it's very far away when it comes to this, so very well developed, and I think here the country is seeing this healthcare not as a cost anymore, but like a strategic investment in national competitiveness, and that meaning is understood. So Egypt is really, as was said by my neighbor almost, that is already a real-world platform for large-scale healthcare deployment, and we can try to use this as a platform for our future cooperation. So instead of just delivering products, so I think we can go further when it comes to system integrations and working together in a large scale. And we have already, I mean, the products basically what we have, so we are past the pilots already. So it's we have globally proven scalable innovations at our use, and we could use those together with the Egyptians. And then when you go to the other countries, of course, I think it's important to get the local authorities and local companies involved, because as we heard already today, so the local presence means trust, and trust is very crucial when it comes to healthcare sector.
I'm going to ask a question from Ms. Anna and Mr. Mati. Building on the idea that we can focus on the technology transfer and building the human capacity, and maybe R&D from your side that would be integrated with the Egyptian system and the Egyptian technologies available, and how to upgrade it. If you can tell me from your side, first of all, you do have an experience with the lab in Egypt, but also what can be done better, and what would you need from, we have Mr. Khalid and Dr. Khalid and Dr. Hussam, we can discuss with them how to fast track and make things a little bit more forward in that. So if you please would start giving me an idea, and then I will hear Mr. Mehdi.
So it is, of course, if we think about expanding programs, it's not just a lab that is needed. It all comes from accessing the samples, getting the samples in time, running the assays with the products that we produce in Finland, but then doing the interpretation. There is follow-up testing that is needed. Then if there is a positive diagnosis, treatment is key. As we globally see newborn screening programs expand, I mean, the largest ones are in the US, covering about 60 disorders, but more and more disorders are coming, and for example, now we are talking about genomic newborn screening, which is next-gen sequencing. For it to be true newborn screening, the most important thing is that access to therapy is available to all. And I think that sort of working together on ensuring that there is that full pathway will be able to expand the newborn screening, bring in the knowledge on how to do it, and also one thing that is very helpful is partnering with pharma companies in order to make those treatments accessible to all.
Okay, Plamega production line based in Helsinki, and we have about 1,000 employees in Plamega Helsinki production line, and we have production when we have R&D, and we put every year about 100 million euro to develop new devices. And I know in Egypt you have a lot of universities. You have 92 universities, and when they open to tender, very often they ask local, local manufacturing and local devices. And in Flammeka we are very proud because we use always slogan "Made in Finland," because it's the like in they trust Finnish quality, and of course we have a very high quality standard in Flammeka, and this is the now in Flammeka situation. And of course we can cooperate. We can cooperate in software and our plan is to more and more work with universities and dental faculties and then to develop together the AI and what we can do. And because nowadays Flammeka hardware is the 80% and software is the 80% and 20% is the any more hardware, more and more software.
So my question for Dr. Hussam and Dr. Khader will start with Dr. Hussam. We do have collaboration, we do have a localization of technology and some localization of manufacturing. The Ministry of Health is a key pillar in integrating this into the community, especially with programs that has to do with public health. If you can give us a very brief idea about the recent successful example of a recent successful project, and also if we can give an idea about the available infrastructure, all the work that has been done with the digital infrastructure, the changes in the laws, the changes in the environment to be able to start tomorrow moving with programs from developed countries, especially again with the idea of integrating R&D and the recent technologies into manufacturing. And this will also be the question for Dr. Khaled.
Thank you again, Dr. Morsi. And let me start with this. We are deploying artificial intelligence in our health system in radiology, diabetic retinopathy screening, and disease surveillance. In our studies, deploying artificial intelligence improved the diagnostic radiology up to 30 to 40%. And early detection with the AI technology can prevent up to 90% of the diabetes-related blindness. So, but what we are looking for is models for the artificial intelligence trained on our local population data. And we need a joint research platforms. And we need also shared regulatory frameworks. So we are not only talking about technology transfer is important, but this our dreams are much bigger. We are looking for knowledge co-creation between the Finnish partners and the Egyptian Ministry of Health. And this is a totally win-win situation. So let's try to put the goals to achieve that, and let's try to start from today, because people will not listen to what we are talking, but they will see what we are doing.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Khaled?
At the moment, I'm also a board member in the Egyptian Federation of Industry. We already had a project in the Egyptian Federation of Industry 5 years ago. We connected the factories, all the manufacturers, with academia. And we have a lot of universities in Egypt that already have done a good job with a lot of manufacturers here in Egypt to have a plan for what the market is need, and this will be even financed by the factories until the product is in the market. Now we are very interested to have technology transfer with the Finnish company. For example, at the moment we are working on a project for the CGM, especially for the children. We have a presidential project to have a CGM for the children, school-mate children. We already working on this project more than 7-8 months ago. We need help from, I don't know in Finnish, in Finland there is companies working in this field or not, but we are connected to, you know that the CGM, that you have the transmitter from a supplier, you have the sensor from a supplier. We are now connected with Denmark, with Germany, to have the project done. We need help from Finland if they have a company working in this field, because this is a very promising project in Egypt. So we already believe that integration between academia and industry is very important to have a successful product in the market.
Okay. My question will be for you, sir, Your Excellencies. It's obvious that there is also a need to explore the possibilities, what's available, and what's available in Egypt in terms of technologies and need. What are the projects that we can integrate? I'm not sure if all the information is available for both sides. From your point of view, how we can do this and how we can have more access to this. And if you have any comment about integrating the R&D with the technology in Egypt, please, sir.
Yeah, I guess we just need more events like this among top-level experts to discuss these matters, because I think the foundation is there already, as I said earlier. So, I mean, we are not talking about entry phase anymore. We are talking about the scale in many sectors, and we are not talking about just delivering products, but we could be talking already about system integration, and I think the success depends on that in this cooperation, how fast we can move ahead and scale things. And it's up to our companies, of course, to make many of those decisions. But of course, healthcare is, and health and well-being is also an issue where there has to be a dialogue between authorities and respective ministries, for example, and we are of course open for that. And then there is the wider international audience. So, as I said, like the UN organizations also, and then different business associations and interest groups in there. But I'm very optimistic about this sector. So where we could move together, and especially, I mean, then if we can come up with these solutions together genuinely, so then we can move to third markets as well.
Thank you so much. So just give you a very quick idea about my experience working in this sector. I worked in the public health initiatives. I worked with the women health initiatives. We were able to set up the lab to go forward with prediction. And from what I've seen, the appetite of the Egyptian government and the acceptance of the population, we have a very young population who are very willing to understand and use technology. They understand the importance of health. I think that health is a major target and a major goal for the Egyptian government, and there are now success stories that we can look at. I'm very happy with the you, sir, pointing out we are not at the entry phase or the starting phase. We are on the scale-up phase. And what I would like to hear from you, as thank you for your time, of course, and any last comments about this? We'll start with you, sir, and then we move forward, and much pleasure to have you in this panel.
Last comments. And Plammega has been in Egypt now in, I think, 36 years, and business should be better, and now my plan is to focus more and more universities. Like I said, 92 universities. In Finland is the only 4. And private sector, private dentist numbers are 36,000 dentists, private dentists in Egypt. And this university, numbers of universities is very big, and now in, I think, 5-6 new universities are coming. And Plammega, in Plammega we have done 460 universities in globally, and biggest what we have done in Middle East is the King Saud in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, King Saudi Boys and Girls University. We delivered 8 years ago. 1,200 dental units and simulation. And why Planmeca is the good partner in university is that because we can offer this full digital education solution. Only Planmeca can do it. And nowadays, students, when they decide to go to entry to dental faculty, they will check university by university where is the best technology because they understand technology already. This is my comments.
So my final words for the session is healthcare is not anymore only a social responsibility. It's an economic sector. So Egypt brings scaling up infrastructure, strategic ambition, and Finland brings innovation, precision, and center of excellencies. So together